advise the members of the public that by being in attendance here today, you're acknowledging that the city's live streaming policy, so the meeting is live streamed, so your voice and possibly your face is being live streamed. So if you're not comfortable with that, I guess I suggest you leave, because we're required to do that under the Local Government Act. Could I call upon the Deputy Mayor to welcome us to country?
Thank you, Richard. I begin by acknowledging my elders past and present. Galat nini kuru ngala noich nija nonga buja. Nonga majur per nija kwabadak nonga buja kurulong. From the beginning of time to the end, this is Noongar country. Noongar people have been graceful keepers of our nation for many, many years. Jinin Karajin Jurpen Nijuwer, Noongar Bujangala Maya Maya Burda. Look, listen, understand, and embrace all the elements of Noongar country. This is forever our home. Kaiwan Junganko Jurpen Niju Noongar Buja Dajali Wangani Noongar Buja. Hello and welcome. My heart is happy as we gather on country and meeting here on Noongar country this evening.
Could I now call upon Deputy Mayor to do the dedication?
Thank you, Worship. May we, the elected members of the City of Kwinana, have the wisdom to consider all matters before us with due consideration, integrity and respect for the Council Chamber. May the decisions made be in good faith and always in the best interests of the greater Kwinana community that we serve.
Attendance, apologies, leave of absence previously approved. It is nil. Number 5, receiving of the annual report. 5.1, the Mayor's report. It is my pleasure to deliver the first annual report as Mayor following the 2023 local government elections. That election was the first opportunity for Kwinana to directly elect its Mayor, and since then, our newly elected council has navigated rising cost pressures and cost of living increases affecting many of our residents during the 23-24 year, maintaining a high level of service. As council, we also adopted our first sustainability framework, addressing 4 aspects of sustainability, namely social, environmental, economic and governance. Sustainability is not just a goal here in Kwinana, it is an essential function and its commitment to the broader community to create a sustainable and resilient future. Known as the City of Trees, we adopted our first environment strategy, setting urban canopy targets well above 22% and setting our sights on a net zero emission goals by 2030 as an organisation and 2035 as a local government area. We welcome the commissioning of the Kwinana Energy Recovery Facility, which will turn the city's waste into energy, and look forward to the 3-bin garden organic rollout in the near future. It has been an honour to work with the new council and lead change in council in the city, so I thank my fellow councillors for their contribution and time. That is my report. CEO's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm proud to share that this financial year saw Kwinana recognised on both state and national stages with multiple awards won by staff and projects alike, including the popular Callista Bike Skills Track, the Wellard Village 7-day makeover, and multiple awards secured by the Kwinana Aquatic team. We also continue to be on the global stage with AUKUS, Western Trade Coast and Westport initiatives progressing, along with a rapid transformation in the Kwinana industrial area to support a global shift towards sustainable industries. In Kwinana, planning applications rose by more than a third, including 546 new single residential dwellings, as demand in affordable regions like Kwinana continues to grow. We also welcomed 502 new citizens this financial year. Amid such rapid change and growth, however, we continue to achieve outstanding results for our community. Our facilities proved popular this year, with the number of bookings increasing 185% and 94% of people using our facilities expressing satisfaction. We also witnessed a 25% increase in attendance at city events like the Summer Sounds Concert, the Lolly Run, Alcoa Children's Festival and more. Community safety is often front of mind, and I'm thrilled that 36 street meets were organised by residents with the support of our $150 street meet vouchers, and 27 street by street events hosted by the city to improve streetscapes with free mulch and plants while gathering neighbours together to provide waste education and community safety resources. We also launched the Spring Safety Series, and more than 2,300 community safety packs were distributed over the year, not to mention a successful pilot of a youth intervention project known as ArcLight that took place. I want to take this opportunity to generally express my gratitude for the dedicated staff of the City of Kwinana, whose responsiveness, innovation and understanding of this unique local government area continues to lead and to deliver meaningful change in our local community for the better.
Thank you, CEO. 6.1, questions by electors. We have received one question or two questions from Julian Corliss. Julian, could you come to the podium? I just think in accordance with the Local Government Act of 1995 and Local Government Administration Regulation of 1996, any person may, during question time, ask any question. In accordance with Regulation 6 of the Local Government Administration Regulation 1996, the minimum time allowed for public question time is 15 minutes. A member of the public who raises a question during question time is to state his or her name and address. Your questions.
Good afternoon all. My name is Julian Corliss. I'm a resident of 37 Ogden Way, Medina. My first question is, I believe I'd like to raise a motion on this. I'm not sure of the word.
So you're asking a question first, I guess?
Yep, okay, I'll ask a question. As a small business owner moving out of, I guess, what you call a hobby, with our increasing cost of living and being Kwinana is the affordable city, which is drawing a lot of new residents in, I was wondering if it's in consideration to help small business owners by allowing or looking into shared work facilities in light industrial areas, because at the moment it's quite unaffordable and unachievable at my level, and I know a lot of other people are in the same position. So I'd like to ask, is it possible to do any sort of investigation into a conjoined working area for businesses and, I guess, people into art and crafts and all that who'd like to move away with the noise from suburban areas into light industrial?
Who's going to answer that? Brett, our Acting Director of Staff.
Thank you. Through the chair, the city's not actively looking into that into Medina at present. I suppose we can point out that there's a range of various range of uses that are permissible under the local planning scheme, and our recently adopted local planning strategy allows a continuation of a whole range of uses within those sort of light industrial zoned areas in Medina. But in terms of the city actually looking at an individual property and setting up that sort of shared space that you're talking about, no, not at this stage.
Can I just actually ask you a question, Mr. Corliss? Have you engaged with the city's economic development manager? The city's obviously active in the economic development space, working with small business.
I have a meeting planned next Wednesday for that, but I have been told that it is not currently, there's no one looking into like a shared workspace for small fabrication and as such.
Yep.
Through you, Mr. Chair. If I could also just add, so it's good that you've got a meeting planned with our Economic Development Manager. Are you aware also of our local commercial support grants that we offer business as well?
I am, and I was hoping to learn a little bit more from this meeting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I think it'd be useful to have that meeting, and then we can see what assistance we can provide.
And you had a second question.
Yes. My second question. I'm an avid user of the Aquatic there every morning, and everyone's quite excited to hear about the money it's been put up for the renovations. And my question is to report back to the people down there: is there a hot sauna potentially being put in? And another big request for other people to ask is there a 50-metre pool going in?
So I can answer the second question, and then I'll refer to Miss Greaves to answer the other question. There isn't a 50-metre pool going in, but the water space will be increased, And I guess also I will say that there will be community consultation in relation to the ultimate plan that that is put together, that we build. But I'll refer you to Ms. Greaves to provide a little bit more.
Through the chair, we will definitely be looking at the wellness area and the wellness hub from what it is now to a modernised space. Haven't gone into the details of what that includes yet, and as the Mayor said, we'll be engaging with the community, particularly regular users, members, about how that looks. You know, things like a hot sauna. Gosh, I've forgotten the red UV saunas as well, and different opportunities in that space, ice baths, things like that. How we can make it a modern facility.
Okay.
So I guess overall the general plan for the refurb of the Aquatic is to actually excavate to the pool deck level, so take out the entire front reception area, the hydrotherapy pool, the cafe, all those sorts of things, the gym area, and create one level so that all the pools will be on one level. And ultimately we'll put a second story, this is the preliminary plans that we've seen, put a second story onto the facility so that the gym can be in one space, because currently the gym is split across three different spaces and 3 different rooms, which is not ideal, as well as that there'll be places upstairs for, I guess, sports professionals, physios, chiropractors and people like that.
Okay. So are you saying that it's not going to go to public forum for a 50-metre pool? That's been decided that it won't happen without public consultation?
So I believe that the space requirements for the 50-metre pool, the space is not there, is what I understand. So ultimately, so the consultant that we engaged sometime last year to look at the overall review identified that more water space is required, not necessarily the size of the pool. So there'll be basically, obviously, again, the community consultation will occur once we get to the point of what can happen. But to make it more cost effective, I guess it will be to retain the existing water space and put additional lanes in another section within the pool deck area.
Okay, so it'll stay at 25 metres with additional lanes.
Correct.
Okay, thank you for your answers.
Thank you. We haven't had any other questions, but I will. Does anyone else have any questions for the public? From the public? No. 8.2 motions by electors. I believe that we do have a number of motions that people wish to move. So, Regulation 17 of the Local Government Act, Administration Regulations 1996, voting at meetings. Each elector who is present at a general or special meeting of electors is entitled to one vote on each matter to be decided at the meeting, but does not have to vote. All decisions at a general or special meeting of electors are to be made by a simple majority of votes. Voting at a general or special meeting of electors is to be conducted so that no voter vote is secret. Do we have a motion from the public? So please come forward. Could I just get you to also state your name and your address?
My name is Elfrida Christian and my address is 56 Abingdon Crescent, Wellard.
Thank you. And what is your motion?
I'm going to read it because I'm very nervous. I'd
Let's
like
go.
to move a motion to stop the City of Kwinana using glyphosate for weeds and to utilise a more environmentally and human-friendly alternative.
So
Yeah.
that's your motion?
That's my motion, yeah.
So,
So we have someone second it and then they...
okay. So could I have someone second that motion? Anyone can second the motion? Mr. Corliss? And then we put it to the vote.
she can talk to it.
Did you want to provide us with any more additional information in relation to why you want to do that?
Yes. So this is for myself, family, neighbourhood, pets and community, as we use parks and footpaths, etc., that have been sprayed weekly with this chemical. I've had direct experience with glyphosate as it was sprayed outside my garage in Wellard by workers in a vehicle, driving along spraying from the vehicle. It leaked onto my garage floor, almost a half a metre, and I didn't have a clue what it was until days later when I noticed the weeds outside dying and my neighbour then told me she saw the vehicle spraying, and I realised what it was. I've had conversations with neighbours and community members since and before who are also concerned about the spraying, especially the weekly spraying, and it's even sprayed on rainy days when it's pouring with rain. And the effects, they're they're concerned about the effects on their health, as I am, of their pets, their children and themselves, as well as myself. I also put a post on Facebook chats and asked residents if anyone was were concerned about this, and I was actually going to get a petition done, but I didn't get round to doing it. But many residents expressed their concerns, so I'm not the only one. So on behalf of myself and many of the community, I want the Kwinana Council to take this matter very seriously. Apparently Transperth, which I've noticed at both Wellard and also at Bull Creek, there's often a sign up when they use a spray, but they actually use an organic weed spray. So there are many alternatives, and I'm asking that the council find one. Thank you.
Okay. Does the second get to speak?
They can if they want to, but not generally.
Okay. Councillor Sargent. Sure.
Thank you. Sorry, I was through you, Mayor Feasy. Sorry, get back into my role in 2025. Can I please just ask of the council, so at the moment we are using this glyphosate chemical. Is it something that have we ever looked previously? Is there a reason that we use this chemical instead of something else? Is it a cost to ratepayers? Has there ever been anyone go, is there a better environmental option to this chemical for our community? Do we have any knowledge, or do you have any more information from a council front you can share on why we use this and why we do spray the weeds the way we do at this current time, please?
Mr. Elkins.
Through the Mayor, I don't think there's a council in the country that hasn't gone through this same review. Glyphosate is the #1 weed-killing product in the country. It's not the only one. There's plenty of chemicals used, and in the situation the example provided, it probably wasn't glyphosate. It's probably a different chemical if it was sprayed in that way. Glyphosate couldn't be sprayed in the way that was described. But most councils who have, particularly the council the scale of the city, who have looked at alternatives and trialled alternatives, have gone back to glyphosate because there isn't really effective alternatives. The only effective alternative that is possible is steam. And that means we go around and we do one weed. So the cost of doing that is prohibitive. So any council that's tried that have then gone back. And I think a really good example of that was the town of Bassendean, that the council mandated that we use steam instead of glyphosate. And I believe they had to go back because it just wasn't effective. And in terms of the health, the product is safe, and it's probably, not unlike a lot of debates about chemicals and drugs, it's not accurate to say it's not safe and not safe in the way we use it. We do have a federal agency responsible for vetting these chemicals, and there's particular ways we use it. We also put signage up. The signage is just to give people the opportunity to move away, but the way we use the product, it's not necessary because the product is safe.
Thank you. So we just put to the vote. So the motion is that the City of Kwinana stop using glyphosate for weeds and to utilise a more environmentally friendly and human-friendly alternative. So all those in favour?
Sorry to interrupt. As a point of order, can you explain for the purpose of the other councillors and also the gallery what the process is? So once this motion is voted on, then it's still a report is generated and it comes to council for a decision.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I think that to let my fellow councillors and the gallery know the procedure for this. So whatever vote is happening now, it's actually a vote for a report
Yeah, okay.
by council, yeah?
Yep, no problem. Yeah, so as Councillor Penny has this alluded to, by voting for or against, ultimately if the motion gets up, what that will do is it actually won't stop us using glyphosate, but it will require a comprehensive report to come to council, and ultimately based on the report that is presented to council based on your motion, council would make a decision. Okay? Does that make sense? So all those in favour of supporting Ms Christensen's motions, please raise your hands. So everyone,
The gallery as well.
So if you can just keep your hands up so our minute taker can just do a... we good? Against? 2. So that motion was carried. So ultimately, in due course, a report will come to council in relation to your item, and I will make sure that one of the city officers advises you of the meeting that it comes to, so you are more than welcome to come to that council meeting. Thank you. Are there any other motions from the gallery? No? If that is the case, that will now conclude the Electors General Meeting, and I declare the meeting closed at 5:53. Thank you for attending.